Hey, what's going on, guys? Rolandas here, back again with another video. And actually, it's not a video, it's a live stream. What we are usually doing during these live streams, I'm basically answering all of your questions. And let me put the camera on me. I'm absolute amateur with live streams. Nonetheless, I ask you guys to send me emails with your pictures and any questions you got, so basically I can tell you my opinion on it. It's not like a private consultation. Some people are asking me, is it going to be a private, message or something, or is it going to be for the YouTube channel? And yes, of course, it is going to be for my YouTube channel. That's the reason for the live stream, you know what I mean? Anyways, nonetheless, I did it last time, last Saturday, and it was a pretty good success. Actually, a lot of people reached out to me with their questions, and I received quite a few emails afterwards on the same evening after the live stream finished, on Sunday, on Monday, etc. So I was thinking, why shouldn't I do it again? So here we are. Today we're gonna be doing exactly the same. So if you got any questions, make sure to drop them in the this live chat. I'm gonna make sure to answer all of them as soon as I can. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and check out some of the emails that I got, and yeah, basically let's see what people what kind of situations people have, and what kind of questions they have as well. So yeah, first of all, thanks so much for joining this live stream. Let me know, everyone, if you guys hear me well, see me well, and everything should be all right. I'll give it 5 seconds, okay, maybe 1 minute before we jump into the context. Drink some water. Someone asked me last time, is that water or vodka? It is water. Yes, so let's get into some of the emails. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to find the ones that I had the last ones and then start from the beginning. Let's see, because I received quite a few and I'm not sure where I left. I guess we can start from here. So yeah, anyways, if some of you guys send me emails with the pictures, keep in mind you're gonna be on my channel. All right, cool. Let's oh, by the way, before we start, already I got questions. Your hair looks good. Not a question, as a statement. And yes, you know what, actually, I've got a direct light, very harsh, but I put a little bit of fibers today because I went out. I had a nice dinner in the restaurant, and like 1 minute before I was leaving the house, I decided, you know what, maybe I can just put just a tiny bit of hair fibers on it. So it took me 10 seconds, literally. Just went in front of the mirror, sprinkle here and there, only on the mid scalp and crown. I didn't put anything on my hairline, and there you go. 10 seconds. I did a pretty bad job. I didn't even look how it looks, but yeah, it's covering pretty well. And yeah, it's very small amount of hair fibers in there. It's mainly in the mid scalp. I think I didn't cover the crown at all. It's just amateur job. Nonetheless, what surprises me that I just need a very small amount of hair fibers to make it look really good already right now, and I'm just 2 months after my transplant, so there is still no result of the transplant. There is still no much result of oral minoxidil. So yeah, I'm really happy so far. Anyways, enough about me. Let's go and answer some of the questions the guys had. All right, let's get into the first ones. So I got the email. All right, hope you guys see everything. I'm 18 years old and I just started losing my hair diffusely the last 6 months. Can you look at my donor hair and tell me if it's below average, average, or above average? Really good. Can you also give your opinion on the hair per centimeter score on my donor area? Can you also tell if I have thick or thin donor area and how many grafts I can expect to be able to be taken out? The first picture is really short hair after I got the haircut. A lot of questions. All right, let's see the pictures. Really bad quality. What's that? I guess that's a videos. Oh, Okay, let's start here. I don't know, the head is not super short and you can kind of see already the diffuse thinning, which is not a great thing, especially if you're, what, how old are you? 18. It looks like a, I don't even know, it looks like either it's a retrograde or it might be like a proper dupa, because if it would be a proper if it would be a proper retrograde, it would start around the ears. But here it kind of just like this whole patch over here, you see, it's like a little bit thinned out. Here it looks a little bit thicker. Again, it might be just angle or you know, the light quality, but it looks pretty thin. I would be interested to see how it looks with shorter hair than that. But yeah, but the back occipital area, at least in this picture that he sent, it looks extremely strong and thick. And to be honest, naturally, for every single person, the side's gonna be much thinner. Like they're gonna have they're gonna have less grafts per centimeter square in this, you know, donor area compared to the occipital area. On the occipital area is always much thicker and denser and more grafts per centimeter square. So we are able to extract more grafts for the hair transplant surgery. So yeah, occipital area looks great, looks perfect. Yeah, this quality is not really great, so cannot really tell anything, but yeah, looks great here. Diffusely thinning. I wonder if he didn't send any pictures from the top, but okay, since he's asking about the donor, I mean, I'm a bit concerned about the sides. I would suggest, first of all, I would suggest to go and to see a really good dermatologist and ask them, not just to, you know, see from far away and, you know, ask for finasteride or whatever, but ask them to analyze properly your whole head under, you know, microscopic evaluation, especially donor area, and determine maybe it's DUPA, diffuse unpatterned alopecia, maybe it's aggressive retrograde, maybe it's alopecia areata, although it doesn't look like, but it would be like in more patches. But who knows? There can be a lot of, you know, there can be a lot of reasons why it's diffusing. And the top looks pretty good. Of course, he's still 18, but yeah, I would suggest to see, first of all, good dermatologist and ask all of these questions, them, him or her, and see what they're gonna say after they're gonna analyze it. Yeah, but overall, occipital area, I cannot see skin at all. It's not super long, but it's not super short. I think occipital area looks excellent. In terms of hair thickness, it's really difficult to tell. I think it's average. It doesn't look like it's thin, but it doesn't look like it's super coarse, thick hair. So I think average, maybe above average, you know, thickness. That would be my guesstimate. Can you also give your opinion on the hair perspective on my donor area? Okay, in donor area, again, I cannot tell because we need to have a proper microscopic evaluation. But an average donor has around 80 grafts per centimeter square. So it's like, you know, like I said again, in the on the sides it's going to be thinner than the occipital area in the back. So in the back it can be up to 100. Here again, if I would speculate, just throw pure numbers, I would say it's 100 grafts per centimeter square, possibly even more. On the sides it looks pretty thin, especially these areas. It might be active miniaturization happening, but definitely, I don't know. I don't even want to say the numbers because it just doesn't make any difference, doesn't make any sense to even say the numbers. So yeah, can you also tell if I have thick or thick donor? That's already answered. And how many grafts I can expect to be able to take it out? Well, I think first of all, since you're 18, you don't need to even think about the transplant to begin with. Get on medication, like I said, go to dermatologist, speak about finasteride, speak about minoxidil, get on those first and stabilize hair loss and see how it goes. Finasteride is just replacing what is lost. But you cannot do transplant if you have just you know, less density, because every transplant, even in the best hands, can possibly have a bad outcomes. You can have permanent shock loss, for example. And imagine if you're gonna implant, if you think your hairline is not dense enough and you're gonna implant some, you know, grafts in there, and you know, native hair is just gonna die and not gonna come back. What you're gonna do? You're gonna be back in square one. So it's not always a great idea to do the transplant, you know, if it's diffuse thinning, let's say, but especially if you're so young, there's just no point. We don't know your hair loss situation. We don't know how far you're gonna go. Maybe you're gonna, as you know, maybe you're gonna go to Norwood 7 in like 5 years. And then what if they're gonna use, let's say, from this area of the donor, and let's say all the way here up, and then your donor gonna drop to here, to Norwood 7, and you're gonna have like a very thin, like a permanent donor zone. So then all of this graft's gonna miniaturize. And then another thing is that your hairline, if you're gonna do while you're young a transplant, you will probably go for a lower hairline. And again, if you're gonna go to a Norwood 6 or 7, if you're gonna have very low hairline, you will not gonna have enough grafts to create good density everywhere else, and it's just gonna be a disaster. You're gonna look ridiculous. So it's never a good idea to have a transplant if you're young. There are of course some like situations when it's possible, and even a good doctors would do on someone that is young, but it's very rare, and most of the time it has to be very favorable, like a family history, and overall they have to analyze your whole donor, your whole scalp, kind of to look where is the miniaturization. And if, let's say, if there is everyone in the family only like Norwood 3s, or Norwood 4s, then most likely that's where you're gonna end up as well, like your end kind of result Norwood level. You're likely not gonna go to Norwood 5, 6, or 7, where it's like a diffuse, like a aggressive hair loss. So in such cases, maybe, but again, it's a very tricky situation, and most of the surgeons would rather stabilize your hair loss and see how it goes with until you at least like 25, for example. And yeah, so I would just not to even think about transplant, just make sure to get on medication. I'm pretty sure the donor even gonna improve as well. Maybe it's just a telogen fluvium, stress, who knows? We don't really know, we don't really see the top. So yeah, I'm not gonna be speculating about the grafts, how many you need or you have or whatever. I think just just get your hair loss under control and take it from there. Really, that's yeah, that's my opinion. Sorry if that's not something you were looking for, but that's something I think you need to hear. All right. By the way, let me know how is the sound quality. Nobody told me anything yet, so I'm hoping it's all right, and the video quality as well. Because YouTube for some reason doesn't like me, and it says my stream status is poor. Oh well, what we can do. Okay, let's go. Let's move on. Another email. Okay, I already replied to this one. Okay, let's get another one. So, hello, Mr. Rolandas. Thank you for letting me question about hair transplant. I guess I want to ask. This is my result of hair transplant of 11 months. Density not good despite 3,000 grafts on the frontal area, but on 7-month hair transplant looks fuller, and density was good after 7 to 11 months. It's getting less density. Any idea what's wrong with my hair transplant? I'm using 7-met shampoo for daily shampoo. I'm using Nizoral once a week for my dandruff. Is it okay using Nizoral once a week? I was afraid Nizoral make my hair transplant result look bad. So first of all, okay, let's first address the question about the hair transplant looking worse after 11 months than it was looking at 7 months. So first of all, go ahead, check out my video my last actually video that I posted on hair growth cycles. It's gonna explain exactly what's the issue basically. In short, because of the surgical trauma, all of the transplanted hairs, they are undergoing like a premature telogen, effluvium basically. So most of them, like a vast majority of them, gonna go to premature telogen effluvium. They're gonna go through shock loss for the first 2 to 4 weeks, and then for the next 3 months there is zero growth. After that, you start to see a lot of new growth of transplanted hairs, and all of them basically are starting to grow at the same time. and that's why we see a lot of, you know, growth, and it looks really nice and this and everything. But after some time, and it depends on each individual separately, after some time some of the grafts can go back to their previous hair growth cycles. Because of the surgery, they all across the board been forced to go to the same hair growth cycle, and after that some of them, like I said, they might go back to their original, the way they were growing in the donor. So it means they can go again to telogen phase, they can shed, and for the 3 months they're gonna be no growth, and after that they're gonna start growing again with their anagen phase, which is normally 2 to 7 years. So yeah, this is pretty common thing, and I really didn't notice anyone talking except Joe Tillman actually, and I was really glad yesterday on the Bold Truth show he mentioned it as well, because he is basically the only person that talks about it. And it was it's weird, it's such a common thing, and even I experienced, and I've seen so many people texting me, what's wrong with my hair transplant, why it doesn't look as fake as it was before hair growth cycles. So yeah, go ahead, check out this video, I explained more kind of in depth. So yeah, in short, nothing is wrong, it's absolutely normal. It's gonna grow back after some time, just need to wait. And yeah, density is not good. So I assume maybe that's what he was trying to say, that the density, so that's the picture, we cannot see anything really. Yeah, it's pretty thin. It's a very bad angle. In this angle we cannot see, but you can kind of see that the density is not there, because you see there like where the very frontal line is transplanted, and then behind is like you still can see a good amount of skin. So yeah, I wonder how was it at 7 months. Did he actually mention something here? I guess no, that's just these 3 pictures. Oh, this is my hair on 7 months before hair. Oh, I see. So this is the 7 month. Well, it's difficult to compare in these angles, but I would say, listen, I would say even taking into account hair growth cycles, I think it would still not be as dense. I might be wrong, you might have lost like a lot of hair. Just best thing you can do, just wait. And of course, also worth thinking about medication. Are you actually on finasteride? Are you actually preventing further hair loss? And how is your donor? Maybe you have a diffuse and pattern alopecia in your donor, so it's like miniaturization in donor. If it's like more than 20% of it, they might extracted grafts that are undergoing active miniaturization. If they're gonna extract an implant in your hairline, they're gonna miniaturize, especially if you're not on any medication. So it's also important to kind of keep in mind your previous like donor area state. But yeah, any good doctor, he would kind of skim through like initially before even your surgery, if your donor is not good for the surgery, because not everyone is actually a good candidate for surgery to begin with. But yeah, nonetheless, assuming everything was perfect with your donor, it's probably just hair growth cycles, and it's likely they just didn't implant, you know, as many hairs as you possibly need. And of course, it's a harsh light, I can see here, just like I'm sitting right now. So it's all transplant solution density is always going to be looking thinner, you know, than we would like. As we all know, you start seeing, you know, thinning until you don't see thinning of your hair until you lost already about 50% of your hair. So imagine the transplant, the objective of transplant is to recreate this kind of density of around 50%. So it looks visually, you know, thick, but obviously it's not gonna be. But yeah, just wait and see what's gonna happen, and you know, get on medication if you're not, and possibly you would possibly need another transplant. You know, yeah, that's my opinion. Moving on. By the way, guys, if you appreciate the job, the work, everything I do, because I'm putting my free time and effort and everything, just hit that like button, guys. Just, you know, that every single like goes a long way for YouTube algorithm. So that's helps me a lot, not just on this video, but any other video. And of course, if you want to support me even further, you can feel free to do it through, where is it? Here is this website, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can, you know, get in the chat or whatever it is. Yeah, any help basically is appreciated. So yeah, let's get further. There was another couple of emails here. Let me have a look. Show close. All right. Opinion and suggestion. Let's go actually to the comments and see what people say. Start talking about how your own hair transplant is progressing. Show us like you did in your first procedure. What? Dave, I've got so many videos already, like talking literally everything about me. My whole channel is all about me. So if you want to like kind of know more about it, just check out these videos. Like I've got so many of them. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find the answer to any of your questions. Which hotel did you stay at in Porto? And the last time I stayed in, was it Praia Golpe? Something like that, or maybe it was the first one. Cannot remember, but doesn't really matter, to be honest. Rolandas, what do you think of Juan Couto from FUE Expert Clinic in Madrid? His YouTube presence looks excellent, that's for sure. I think he's doing only one patient a day as well. He's already like, and he has one patient over like 2 or possibly even 3 days, because he's like doing surgeries like not more than 2,000 grafts per day. I think I might be wrong, but that's what I remember from looking into him. And yeah, I think he's a great doctor. I haven't seen like direct results from like a real people posting online, except his YouTube presence. But to be honest, if he's doing the surgery himself, extractions, implantations, for example, I'm not sure if he's doing extractions, but he's definitely doing implantations. If he's doing it himself and the result that we see on YouTube are looking good, which means the hair angles, hair implantation angles are correct, natural and good looking, and the donor is managed well, it's not over harvested, and there's the adequate density, adequate design, and the correct type of hair in the hairline, etc., or in the crown. If all of these things are done correctly, then there is no reason to think he will not do it for another person that is not on the YouTube videos. You know what I mean? The only difference might be that they can be like a poor growth, but which can happen even in the best hands. Like things happen. There's like a variety of reasons why the hair transplant can fail. But yeah, that I think he's a good doctor to look into. I'm not saying go to him, but I'm saying it's worth looking into him. And yeah, think for yourself. But from what I know, his like waiting list is super long, like 3 or 4 years. So personally, I would never wait this long. I had procedure recently, and I'm happy for what? I had the procedure recently. I am happy for interview. I have interesting topics. All right. Well, share with us in the chat, I guess. Nacho, he has 3 or 4 year waiting list. Yeah, that's right. Good man. Oh, thanks so much, Sydney Adnopos. Thanks so much for $2 Looking good, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's look really good actually. Like I said before in the beginning, I put a little bit of fibers because I went out today and I just wanted to see how it looks. It took me literally like 10 to 20 seconds, like quickly sprinkled in some random pattern. I didn't really check even how I applied it. It was like quickly, you know, go. And I checked now, doesn't look really nice, but in some areas is more, some areas is less. What I taken out from this is that I just need a very small amount of fibers to look pretty good already right now. That to the point that I'm really happy. So yeah, I'm happy. Hopefully the transplant gonna grow well, and it's gonna be like that without the need of the fibers. Do you think that topical detached finasteride is enough to slow down the miniaturization process next to the donor area in the long run, and thus save as much hair as possible? Oh, my issue with topicals is that it can be a bit tricky to apply, and it can be a bit tricky to apply enough on each given area. Topical finasteride is still goes systemic, like everyone knows already across the board. So if you're experiencing side effects on oral finasteride, there's a super high chance that they're gonna have the same side effects on topical. Of course, you can try to, you know, make smaller like a concentration of topical, but I would always suggest to like try to lower the oral like version, your dose, let's say 0.5 milligram per day or every other day or something like that. Of course, speak to a doctor about it, but as a general rule of thumb, I'm not a big fan of topicals because, like I said, you need to spread it, and it can be a hassle. You need to wait until it's gonna dry, so you cannot rely on it long term. It's much easier to take a pill a day in the morning, for example, like I do, and move on with your day, compared to put the topical. It's can be a hassle, and that's one of the main reasons why, like, most of the minoxidil users, topical minoxidil users, are quitting after a certain amount of time, after like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, because they just fed up of this, you know, routine. And imagine you going on holidays, you forgot your topical, or you cannot put your topical, or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Just, it can be a bit tricky. So yeah, but if you apply enough, it can be working just as effective. Finasteride, at least topical. So yeah, detached rate, it's needed more research. I was looking into it closer, but it's still like I'm not sure, so I cannot really say much about it. And yeah, if it's enough, I guess it's up to individual. Aloe vera gel after sauna and after come back from the beach, how to put and when? Thanks for your work. After sauna, I mean, as soon as you dry your head, put aloe vera on your scalp. And after coming from the beach, so if you've been to the sea, for example, so it's salty water, so just make sure to wash your head with shampoo, dry, put your aloe vera. I don't know, it's not rocket science, I guess. That's what I would do, basically. Dave, I watched your other videos. I'm talking about now. Why are you no longer BAM? Why are avoiding what's occurring with the second? I'm not avoiding what's occurring with the second transplant. It's actually my second video again, or my next video after this live stream. Probably going to be filming tomorrow. It's going to be on the update. It's going to be 2-month update. When was it? A couple of days ago was exactly 2 months after my second transplant. So yeah, I'm not avoiding, it's just I don't have time. I don't have time for everything. That's why I decided to start doing this live streams, because it's so much easier. You can just, sit down, talk to the camera for 2 hours or 1 hour, and it's already there. And I help you guys as well with the answers. But I'm working on this video. It's going to be coming out really soon. So yeah. I wish I could have more hours in a day, so I could actually create more videos on every single aspect. I think the very first 2 weeks are the most crucial after the transplant, hence why I did pretty much every day. But after that, especially between month 1 and month 3, is not much happening. There is literally nothing happening. The hair shed, and everything is in intelligent phase, so there is nothing is growing, nothing is happening. So there is really nothing much to show or to explain. If you hope that makes sense. But yeah, after that, it's gonna be great. Congrats on silver medal for Lithuania. Thank you. Although I'm not following Olympics, so yeah, who cares? I'm such a boring person. What to do if I'm losing hair on Finasteride only at the temples? Should I add dutasteride? I would suggest to check out my video on long-term Finasteride efficacy, which is hold on, let me show it to you. It is my channel, and what is it? This one. Go ahead, check out this video. If Finasteride doesn't work for you, watch this before stopping. It's a very great video. I discuss basically, yeah, how long, in what amount of time you can expect more and more improvement. And in short, it depends on your normal level. Basically, the higher the normal level, the less efficacy you can expect. So the drug gonna be less efficacious. But if you're normal 2 to 5, for example, or even 4, let's say, you can see continuous more and more improvement in the first even 6 years, according to some studies, long-term studies. So again, of course, for every single person going to be different. Nonetheless, if you're not on the full dose of Finasteride for 2 years, they just don't do anything. Stay the course and see how it goes. If you've been for 2 years, you're not 100% happy, it's worth adding minoxidil and possibly microneedling. Minoxidil with microneedling can work wonders, and even on the temple peak. So that's my suggestion. Don't jump into dutasteride. Keep it as a, like in your arsenal if you really need it in the future. All right, let's go back to emails. I've got so many, we need to kind of go through them. Okay, so hi, I'm 31 years old. I've been on Finasteride 125 milligram daily for 4 years and 5 milligram of oral minoxidil for 6 months. Should I continue with the medication for a few more years, or should I pull the trigger and restore back my hairline? Really appreciate your suggestions. Thanks. The last picture. Okay. The last picture. What was me donor area? My donor area. It looks like these pictures were done from in a hair transplant clinic. Like a blue background. Well, the hair, first of all, what I see, the hair loss is not severe. That's amazing. I see you've been consulting with someone. All right, let me just finish with the pictures. But okay, the way I see, yeah, there is a certain amount, like a threshold, that if you lost, you cannot come back. So if, like in your case, excuse me, in your case, for example, from this picture, this is pure skin. There's like barely maybe 1-2 follicles. Like no amount of drug ever will create new follicles if they're completely dead. Like I don't really believe you're gonna be able to regrow like to this point. So you're like, the hair transplant would be the only solution to kind of, you know, restore this this hairline, basically this area. But medications definitely don't stop anything. Just keep doing what you're doing, and because they're helpful for remaining areas that, you know, are possibly, you know, undergoing active miniaturization as well. But yeah, so far it looks pretty good, and congrats on staying on, you know, getting it under control pretty early. That's, oh gosh, I wish I could do it as well. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to me. So yeah, just don't do anything, and I think, yeah, the transplant is the only really solution to recreate. The question now is, do you need this super low hairline and kind of straight? Yeah, just look at your family history. If there is no, you know, signs of like a severe baldness like Norwood 6 to 7, I would say, then yeah, why not? If you like if you're over 25, best if you're over 30, and you're 31, so yeah, I don't see why not. But again, speak to the doctor, analyze your family history, and take it from there, I guess. But yeah, congrats on stabilizing hair loss. That looks great. I'm jealous. I guess a lot of people are jealous too. Right, moving on. So, hello, I'm 27 years old, using Essengen 6 for 1 year now. Okay, so that's, everything is a mess with the pictures following up, 2 pictures before Essengen, after transplant. How's the density? Last picture. Okay, let's go ahead and analyze the pictures. I guess that's on this picture it looks like it's not receded that much, but here it looks, it went pretty far, like a proper Norwood 3. Okay, the transplant, yeah, the works looks, at least from this angle, looks pretty good. Okay, what are the questions? How is the density? Last picture was, I guess that's after the transplant. I don't know, it's very difficult to say anything from this angle. I mean, it doesn't look really bad. It might be a little bit less here. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, I would need more context. So yeah, sorry. It's really difficult to tell anything, especially that there are no proper no proper question. Oh, I got the email from a Lithuanian guy. Okay. Sveikas, jau vartoju Finasteride apie 18 mėnesių ir minoxidil 5 mėnesius, bet jokių rezultatų nematau pozityvių. Atrodo, kad net kažkiek pablogėja. Kaip manai, koks būtų kitas žingsnis? Pagarbiai Tadas. Okay, so this guy is saying that he was on Finasteride 18 months, he was on minoxidil 5 months, but he didn't see any like a positive results from it, basically. And he thinks even that it actually regressed, so it went actually like worse. He's asking what would his next step. Alright, so the crown is fine, just some thinning in mid-scalp, and obviously the hairline is gone. Difficult to say again. How was it? 5 months on minoxidil. So I would say don't do anything for the next at least 6 months until you know, minoxidil can dramatically thicken up this area. I don't know, in the first year, because 5 months is really, you just started to see some improvements from minoxidil, because for the first 3 months there is nothing really. So yeah, I would just say don't do anything, don't change anything, just stay the course and for the next 6 months, and then take it from there. If it still looks like that and you're not 100% happy, then you might jump to oral minoxidil or Finasteride, possibly adding once a week, or maybe even get on a transplant. It depends on your age, of course, and your family history and everything. And of course, it depends on what dose of Finasteride you are. Maybe you're not even 1 milligram per day. And again, following back on talking about my previous video on the Finasteride long-term efficacy, 18 months on a grand scheme of things is not really that far. It looks like you're Norwood, what, 2 to 3? So in this case, Norwood 2 to 3 can experience more efficacy in the first like 6 years or so. So just, yeah, don't do anything, stay the course, and I think it's gonna be better, to be honest. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. All right, next one. Hello, Rolandas, greeting from Greece. Peace. I'm Dimitris, I'm 35 years old, and I first noticed that I'm losing my hair in the fuse pattern when I was 22. My father is Norwood 6 and my brother had the same luck as myself, lol. I've never touched Finasteride and I'll never do it, although I know it would help my hair, but I'm not taking the risk for health concerns and reasons. I used minoxidil in the past, but stopped because of side effects, palpitations, my face got bloated. I've talked to various clinics in Greece and abroad, and on average all agree that my first operation for ABC zones will need 3,500 grafts, that I should leave the thinning crown for later. What's your opinion on Greek clinics? Okay, it's such a long time. Let's go back and go one by one, I guess. So Finasteride, I respect your position, let's say, on it. I would still advise to at least microdose, especially that you have a possibility to go to Norwood 6 as your father. I would ask your father, when did he start losing hair? Because some people, they start losing in their mid to late 30s and they go to Norwood 6 or even 7. So it still can happen, especially from your pictures here. I see that you are pretty much diffused Norwood 5, pretty much like myself, exactly, to be honest, exactly copy paste, maybe a bit better than I was, because I had very thin forelock and there was pretty much bald here, the whole front. And then, yeah, similar here area. So, well, the donor, again, from here, it looks good. It looks like it's kind of stops here in the Norwood 5, but I'm pretty sure if you don't do anything, you're definitely going to go to Norwood 6 and you're definitely going to lose everything on the top. It's already it's already really thin, and after another 10 years, if you don't do anything, all of this is going to become so miniaturized, so thin that it's not going to contribute to overall density. So you would need a lot of hairs to be moved, and you could potentially drop, get your sides or lateral humps could potentially drop dramatically. They're already thinning out here, so they're expanding your whole zone. The top is expanding, so I would be really careful with every single step you do, especially if you don't want to try Finasteride. I would say, I guess you're just concerned, but you haven't tried it. I would say speak to a good doctor, dermatologist, and maybe try microdosing oral Finasteride. Even 0.25 milligram per day is much better than nothing. It can be extremely efficacious as well, and yeah, but if you proceed with transplant, maybe look into FUE, to be honest, because then you're going to be able to get the best of the best hairs that are a kind of DHT resistant, have the best resistance to DHT. So I would be very careful, to be honest, if I were you. So yeah, ABC zone. So I guess ABCs there, the frontal third, basically what I had done. And yeah, I agree, 3,500 grafts in this area. It's a decent amount of, you know, grafts required to achieve pretty good density. If your hair is on the thicker side, it's gonna look denser than, for example, for me it was. But if it's on the thin side, you might need a bit more. But again, you have still here, but I would expect to lose everything, just maybe to leave with a very, very thin forelock. Yeah, it's, I cannot stress enough, the stabilization of hair loss, especially if you've got like this kind of severe genetic, is crucial. I would not even recommend to even undergo the transplant, to be honest, but if you do, just be super careful, go to really good clinic, possibly do a FUE, maybe even 2 if your luck still allows. That would be my like suggestion. So yeah, and be conservative. Don't go low hairline, maybe even keep it like, you know, receded, and maybe even use less than 3,500 grafts. Of course, it depends on how big the strip, for example, is going to be and everything. But yeah, just go to a good doctor. And what's my opinion on great clinics? I know Dr. Bisanga's clinic in Athens is pretty good. I haven't heard much. I know there is a Dr. Anastasakis that is pretty decent, but I haven't heard like really much from Greece, so I cannot really tell. So yeah. Lots of people travel from all over the world to come here for their transplants because it's cheaper. Don't trust Greek clinics. I don't like the vast majority of the result they achieve. Then again, going abroad requires a bigger budget and is getting more and more difficult for someone like me that will not get vaccinated to travel abroad. I have the money for the first transplant in Greece and saving for the second, but I don't know if I should do it here or not. Well, listen, it's not about the country. Never focus on the country. Focus on the results. Look, so first of all, you need to understand how to find a good transplant and how to spot a good and bad transplant. So look at the hair implantation angles. Are the angles natural? Are the hairline created with the finer single grafts? Are they implanted not 90 degrees up, but they implanted kind of flat with a 10 to 20, you know, degrees angle? Actually, funny fact, I was speaking to my friend and he said, "Oh, my hair is strange, grows straight." I said, "What do you mean? That's how it's normally." "No, but my hair is growing down." And basically the difference is that his hair is a little bit longer, and of course when it's like a more gonna look like it's growing, you know, lower. But anyways, the natural hair angles are pretty flat. Excuse me. In the hairline. So look at that. Look, if the implantations are pretty much 90 degrees, it's a big no. If that's done, you cannot fix it. That's game over. So that's one of the things. Donor management, how they are extracting, you know, donor and managing overall. If it's a FUE, it's a FUE, how they doing the, you know, strip, how they doing closure, is it trichophytic closure, and yeah, what's the survival like. Look at how they're building the hairline, what's the design, how they're approaching difficult cases, bigger cases, etc. Just look at these finer details, and once you're gonna like know what to look for, you're gonna be able to spot like that. You're not gonna have any questions, or you will not need to ask me like, "Orlands, what do you think about this doctor?" Like, no, you're gonna go on their website, you're gonna see the pictures, and you're gonna straight away say, this is not good, this is good, this is bad, this is good, etc. So yeah, I would just say just learn more about it. I've got plenty of educational videos on my channel as well. Go ahead, check out the Joe Tillman's channel. He has a lot of, you know, this hair transplant classes, I think he's calling them. Yeah, just learn. Okay, where we were. Here's a couple of pictures, like heavy light, 20 okay, so yeah, that's my thoughts. Hope you're gonna figure it out. So yeah, don't rush. That's gonna be my suggestion. Okay, oh, I guess I need to speed up. There's so many emails I'm getting, and really appreciate, by the way, guys. Moving on, next one. Hi Rolandas, I just want to ask you, is it Finasteride good? I will send you a picture, and to tell me how to use aloe vera gel. I have a hair transplant before 2 months. Thanks a lot. Finasteride Pharma's 5 mg tablet. Yeah, that's generic Finasteride, 5 mg. So you'll have to cut it in, ideally in 5 pieces, but easily probably going to be just in a quarter. So you're going to have 125 mg and take it every day. That's, I guess, your doctor how suggested to take it. So yeah, it's generic. My opinion on generics, I already did the video. Check out with the Kill and the Chemist. The guy that is a hair chemist, he explains, basically we discussed, you know, what's the the dangers of generic brands versus the brand name. I'm not saying the generics are bad, but if you find a good generic, stick with it. The main idea is to find something that is good and stick with it. Don't change around the brands, because can be little variations. So yeah, and how to use aloe vera gel? Just use on, I guess the guy is maybe is the same guy that asked me in the chat here. Just use after, you know, you wash your hair. Is it clean and it's dry, and that's when you put the aloe vera gel and let it air dry. That's it, really. That's all you can do. Got some pictures, no text here, just pictures, I guess. Let me have a look. Oh, so he had the transplant. I'm at 6 months, by the way. Thanks, hope to hear from you soon. All right, so I assume that was his before transplant. Heavily diffuse thinning, Norwood, probably even 6 already from the top. It's like there's lateral humps are gone, the crown is expanded pretty dramatically. Yeah, it's definitely diffuse Norwood 6. And there's like a kind of a little bit stronger bridge, but yeah. To be honest, I don't know about any medication he's taking, but if you, most of the time for such conditions, if you go on a full dose of finasteride 1 milligram per day, go on topical minoxidil with microneedling, or better oral minoxidil, it can change dramatically to the point that the person will not need any transplants. Like diffuse thinners have advantage. They have a lot of miniaturous hair. So if you're gonna manage to boost the growth of the anagen phase of this miniaturous hair, that they're gonna grow longer and thicker, you have all the coverage you need. You don't need any transplant. And that's what I see here as well. Even in the hairline. So yeah, classic diffuse thinner. But anyways, so yeah, that's 6 months after the transplant. Looks great. Yeah, there are some coarser hairs, doubles probably. But really doesn't look really bad. I like it. Looks decent, especially if that's for 6 months, man. That's a home run. Yeah, I assume they covered only front because the crown is pretty bare. Of course, most of them they're gonna say, oh, the crowns takes longer to grow and everything. Like, not really. From what I've seen, if the job is done properly, the crown is growing pretty much at the same pace, at the same rate as any other area. It might be a bit slower, but how much slower? 2 weeks slower, 3 weeks slower than it would have been in the hairline. I don't believe it's gonna be like 6 months slower or something like that. So yeah. But yeah, medication would be the key, if, I guess there was no question. So yeah, looks great. Congrats on the transplant. Let's move on. And by the way, all of these emails are still the previous ones, so trying my best. Okay, so there are some emails from today. All right. I'm 21. My hair loss started when I was 15. Have not undergone any treatment, losing hair from my crown as well. 21. That's pretty sad. If you're 21 and you've been having hair loss since 15, it sounds like a really, really aggressive. Oh, yes. It's pretty. I assume that's not a haircut. I assume that's an active thinning. Okay, though. Then here it's pretty severe retrograde alopecia with probably definitely with DHA like mixed all together. It's like a lot of different factors all at once. It's difficult to say. I mean, of course, if you want to stop hair loss, try medication, try finasteride, just try minoxidil. Because in retrograde, in DHA, the cause is exactly the same as DHT. Now the problem is with DHA, for example, that there is no stable donor. Because in standard male pattern baldness, we are like, our follicles are less resistant to DHT on the top, but they're much more resistant on the sides and the back on the occipital, to the point that they are not really affected, you know, from like normal DHT levels in your body. So if you suppress the DHT, you can stabilize the top and then take the donor from the back, which is strong, and put on the top, you know, and fix what's been lost, and that's it. But in such cases like here, even though finasteride can improve, for example, but it's still not going to be stable. It still can miniaturize, you know, after a certain amount of time. So it's difficult to say. I don't want to say anything straightforward. I would definitely suggest to go and see good dermatologists, trichologists, or even a hair transplant doctor, and basically take it from there. I think if you want to stop hair loss, like I said, the first thing you can do, and you have to do, you should do, is medication. Finasteride, minoxidil, microneedling, the big three, so-called. You know, I mean, they call big three with the Nigerol, but to me, big three is finasteride, minoxidil, microneedling. And yeah, stay for 2 years and see how it goes. I'm pretty sure you're gonna improve a lot, especially this year. Definitely gonna improve. You might not regrow a perfect hairline, but it looks like there's still a decent amount of hair on the top. And yeah, and take it from there. That would be my suggestion. Something is happening with my throat. Talking too much. All right, next. Oh, very interesting email. Привет, Rolandas. Привет, дорогой. I'm on day 11 after my transplant was on Norwood 3, I think. Current state: started B-complex vitamins and zinc on day 7. Planning to start topical minoxidil 5% and 1.25 milligram finasteride on day 14. Okay, well, cool. So first of all, vitamins, zinc, everything great for overall health. Don't bother for hair loss. It's like, don't expect any miracles from hair loss. But it's a good idea to have, you know, because our diets nowadays are really bad. Planning to start topical minoxidil. Oh, yeah, great. Minoxidil start after transplant once the scabs are gone. That's when it's most of the surgeons, you know, saying the same story, that it's safe to start minoxidil. Transplant, personally, I never stopped it. And again, there is no legit reason why you need to stop it, or you know, on when you can start finasteride. Start right away. I would say don't wait, just start right now. Yeah, kindly share your thoughts on the job done by my surgeon. Should I expect great, terrible, or not great, or nor terrible results at the end of the journey? Okay, let's see. So just the hairline done. Oh, even temple peaks. Holy crap. Very interesting design. To me, it looks like temple peaks were transplanted much thicker than the hairline, which is weird. Or maybe it's just because it's mixed with the native hair over here, so that's why it appears. Nonetheless, okay, hairline, it doesn't look like it's... An overall transplant doesn't look like there is going to be like a very high density. I would say it's around maximum maybe 40 grafts, maybe 45 if you're really pushing it per centimeter square. Most likely 40, possibly even less. So yeah, it's not going to be super dense, because like, listen, think about it. Compared to this transplanted area, like how many grafts per centimeter square, and here, native hair, it's like 2 times less, maybe even 3 times less. Like, it's okay, maybe I'm talking bullshit right now too much. It's not going to be 150 grafts per centimeter square, but it's much denser than here. So it might stand out if you're going to if you're going to compare after 12 months this area and this area. That being said, if the correct hair, like a finer grafts implanted and there's quite a lot of doubles, it might look just enough. It might not look perfect, but it might be a good starting point. You know, there's no perfect one transplant. Hey, even for me, I had a first transplant with a decent amount of grafts implanted, pretty, you know, like 45 to 55 grafts per centimeter square in the hairline and everything. And I still went back and added some more because my hair is very thin. So yeah, most people will not gonna be 100% happy with one transplant. I'm not saying that's gonna be you, but overall, it doesn't look really bad on the temples. It looks like the hair angle, it's pretty good. It doesn't look like it's sticking up or something. It's like kind of looks similar to the native hair. I cannot even say which one is transplanted, which is native, which is a great thing. The only thing is bothering me, there is no proper like a temple closure. It's kind of, but again, I cannot see properly here in these pictures. Maybe your native hair is there. Yeah, difficult to say. But yeah, overall, I think it looks alright, to be honest. Yeah, I think I mean there's nothing really we can do or say. Just stay the course, just start your medications, try to avoid the mirror for the next 6 months at least, and yeah, just try not to focus on your hair, focus on other aspects in your life, and the hair gonna start growing. So yeah, the toughest part is the first 6 months. That's my opinion, and I'm here right now as well. So yeah, but yeah, overall looks pretty good. Good for you. All right, Adam Beast, another one. I had SMP before. When I grow it gets thinner. I think that's the ugly duckling face. Pictures, is it the same picture? Same guy? Maybe not. Pictures I added are after hair wash till day 17 and last 3 after 20 days till now, and it's getting thinner. I had 4,000 grafts. Okay. No. Let's go. 4,000 grafts. Okay, very blurry. You had the SMP. I think I can see why. It's like the overall scalp is kind of grayish, if it makes sense. Might be just the quality. Oh, I think you have a very curly hair. It looks like here. I don't know. It's like redness here. Did they extract it only from this area, but they left like kind of this alone? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, under the harsh light with immediately after transplant, that's how it looks. Especially if you were bald. So I would not expect anything, you know, much really. But yeah, you had the 4,000 grafts. I guess it was all over the top. So if your whole top was bald, 4,000 grafts is really nothing, to be honest. And I would not expect much. To be honest, if you are like an Norwood 5 or 6, that it looks like you are, maybe even worse, more like start thinking about your next transplant. I don't know, I cannot tell the donor because it looks in a very interesting kind of situation. There's some more pictures here. I'm not sure, was that just the hairline? It's like, I guess they draw the line something. Yeah, strange picture, kinda. Don't know, before the surgery. Okay, I see. Oh yeah. Anyways, I would suggest to, like as always, just check the medication if you're on the medication and stabilize the future hair loss, and then yeah, just wait and see. There is nothing really much you can do, just you have to be patient and look at the growth. Yeah, I guess that's it. Don't know what else to say. Let's go back to the chat. All right, where we were. What to do if I'm losing hair on Finasteride only at the temples? Should I add the Finasteride? Okay, that was already answered. Hair transplant live? Ah, live. When does Dr. Bruno Ferreira allow you to use minoxidil after the surgery? I spoke with him about oral minoxidil and he said, I think even he said you can start right away, but I didn't take it with me and I decided to start it after 1 week. But topical minoxidil, usually it's like I said 2 weeks, or roughly when the scabs are gone. I think it's obvious, but does hair loss run in your family and to what extent? I don't know what it was related to, because people talking to each other. Would you recommend a hair transplant to someone unwilling to take Finasteride? I mean, there's a situations when why not, you know? Like I said before, if there is no aggressive hair loss running in your family, why not? Like, personally, if everyone in my family will be Norwood 3 and I am 30 years old, for example, I'm not, but for example, and I've got Norwood 3 and it doesn't look like it miniaturizing any further, I would, let's say, check my scalp under microscopic evaluation and I see just here miniaturization, but everything else, including the forelock and everything else behind, is like super strong and thick. Why not? I would not take Finasteride. I would just, you know, cover the transplant here and move on with my life. You know what I mean? That just to be very careful, pick the right surgeon so they, you know, manage your donor properly and live with as little scars as possible. But if you have a severe hair loss, Oh, it's a tricky one, like I just discussed, you know, on this other case. Bruno Pina, interesting name. I guess you're from Portugal. The name Bruno is very, very popular, especially Bruno Ferreira. Funny. Hi Rolandas, any early hair growth and visually more dense frontal third between first and second hair transplant, or still too soon? By the way, Bruno Ferreira clinic is located in Espinho, not Porto, 20-kilometer distance. Well, yeah, I think Espinho is like a smaller part. Yeah, I'm not gonna be saying it. Yeah, I was always under the impression that this is a part of Porto. It's like a district. I don't know. Any early growth? No, difficult to say. I cannot. Well, especially in the frontal third where I had already a transplant done. It's very difficult to say because I already have hair in there. And yeah, I mean, looks alright, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with what I've got right now. If you're gonna get any thicker, I'm gonna be, you know, more happy. So yeah, but definitely too early to say about any extra growth. If you always have had sites from Finasteride, no matter the dosage or number of days taken, then it is ideal to get a hair transplant without even taking Finasteride, or is there an alternative? No matter the dose, so that's tricky, because normally you can decrease the dose to the point like to 0.25 milligram every other day, for example, and I never heard of anyone having side effects. If that's the side effects, it's most likely psychosomatic. Again, I'm not trying to say that it's like 100% impossible, but maybe try topical finasteride. Maybe try topical dutasteride. There is some evidence that says that it's not going systemic as much, that you might not have any problems like in terms of side effects, but it still can be efficacious. But yeah, like just with the before transplant, it depends on individual. Really, it depends on individual. Can you talk about the side effects of finasteride? I think everyone knows the side effects of finasteride. Decreased libido, the most one, you know, sex drive, erectile dysfunction. That's one of the biggest ones that everyone is afraid of. But in reality, they're really not. They're pretty rare, to be honest. People are always underestimating the power of mind. You can literally psych yourself into pretty much anything. If you're gonna start, I actually challenge anyone that is not on finasteride. Start, maybe not, don't do it. But if you would start like actively thinking and worrying about your sex drive and everything, I can guarantee you're gonna go down 100%. Trust me. So yeah, but yeah, other side effects, there is some like a brain fog and you know, focus on concentrating. It's like some of the most common ones. But from what I know, what I've heard, the amount of side effects from finasteride in general is very, very small compared to any other drug that's on the market. So it's considered pretty safe, to be honest. How to get oral minoxidil in Serbia? What do you recommend, PRP or dermaroller? Okay, how do you get oral minoxidil in Serbia? I don't know. Go to see dermatologists and ask. Go to, I don't know, to pharmacy and ask if they even have oral minoxidil, because that's where you're getting it from. That would be I mean, that's the only way, to be honest. What do you recommend, PRP or dermaroller? Microneedling, 100%. PRP, I'm not a big fan. There is a lot of evidence it works, and it can work really well, but it's really difficult to keep up with it long term because it can be costly. You need to go somewhere to get it done. You don't know the frequency, you don't know what going to be circumstances in your life, and if you stop using it, you're going to lose all the gains. Not easy to keep up with it long term. I used before topical minoxidil 5%, few months it helped, but after a few months it was again bad. For a few months, and it helped. And after about a few months, it got bad. I'm now 2 months after hair transplant. Well, use minoxidil for longer, at least 1 year, and then reassess. With microneedling, it works extremely well. So yeah, do both, and do for 1 year before jumping into any conclusion, and don't change anything. And of course, yeah, with finasteride, as always. I'm now 2 months after the hair transplant. Well, then if you're on 2 months after transplant, don't use any microneedling device on your transplanted area. For how long, nobody knows, but at least 6 months, because the skin takes a long time to heal. Right. By the way, guys, like the video. That's gonna be helpful a lot. We got what, 19 likes and 31 current viewers. Come on guys, what are you doing? Hit that like button, do it now. If hair cloning becomes a reality, we will be able to achieve native juvenile design density through hair transplant, or are there limits to the surgery? Well, if the hair cloning can be available for everyone, then yes, there's literally gonna be no limits to amount of hair that you can use to transplant. It's still gonna be the same transplant, so it means they're probably gonna have the same methods, and they're gonna be the same in difficulties with creating density, especially in diffuse thinners. And it will take multiple transplants to go back into the same area and put more and then put more. But if the hair cloning is working as of like you're taking one graft and from this one graft you clone 1,000 grafts, then technically we've got unlimited supply, you know. But when it's gonna be and how likely it's gonna be, I'm not putting any of my eggs in this basket. I rather do what I can now. And in my opinion, Finasteride, minoxidil, possibly microneedling with transplants, it's pretty much a cure for baldness. If you do every step right, it's, of course, I appreciate it's not going to be for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's a cure of baldness if you do every step right. But if you go to a bad clinic, to a hair mill, and they're going to destroy your donor, and they're going to implant in unnatural angles, no cure for you. Sorry. MK, transplant coming out real good, my man. Well, I already said, yeah, thanks so much, by the way, but I said I just put a little bit of topic on my mid-scalp. I didn't put anything on the hairline, by the way, and I've got super harsh light in front of me. But yeah, just a little bit on my mid-scalp because I was going out. And yeah, I'll do actually a proper video how I'm applying and how it looks, just to see, because I think it's a really good time right now that I've got a lot of miniaturized hair in my mid-scalp that are minoxidil is bringing back to life. And I just need a really small amount of topic to kind of make it dark, and it looks pretty good. I'm happy. Codeit, dead. Sorry, my English is bad. Codeit, you're the man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Jay Santos, hey, thanks for everything you do. Do you recommend getting a transplant when you're losing your hair, or wait until you got almost bald? No and no. You don't do a transplant in both situations. You have to stabilize hair loss. You don't need to wait until you lose hair, because your main objective, if you want to have a full looking head of hair, is to save as much hair as possible. If you're going to be waiting until you're going to get bald, the transplants are just illusion of density. Like, remember, illusion. And if you're going to be in Norwood 7, it's impossible to create a great head of hair. I'm sorry. So unless you have a very, very, very strong donor. So it's always important to stop further progression of hair loss. So you're gonna add to your overall look, not just your transplant, but your overall look, overall head of hair. You know how your appearance looks like. And then put a transplant on the area that cannot, be repaired with the medication. So that's the best, course of action. Just like I said before, just few minutes ago, that's our cure basically. So yeah, don't wait until you're gonna get bald. Stop your hair loss right now. After you stop the hair loss, then you get the transplant. So yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows already by now. It's the most important thing you can do. Keep it going, man. Thank you. I meant if other member of your family hair loss, and to what degree, father, uncle, or brothers if you have siblings. Okay, was that addressed to me? I think it's always, but does hair loss run in your family, and to what extent? Okay, if that was the question addressed to me, then yes, I've got severe hair loss in my family. My father is Norwood 6, possibly. He's not full-blown Norwood 7, but he's very strong Norwood 6. My older brother, who is almost 2 years older than me, he's Norwood 6, looks almost the same like my father. I'm 2 years younger than my brother, and I'm Norwood 5. I'm going possibly to become Norwood 6 in the future, especially if I would not do anything. I would be just the same, because I'm on medications. I'm holding strong on my lateral humps are thinning, are diffuse thinning, but they're really strong compared to the mid-scalp, for example, where there's nothing almost. And my crown is not dipping really that low, and it's pretty strong. So again, all my extractions were done in a Norwood 6 like a donor zone, so I would not expect to lose any hairs even if I would go all the way to Norwood 6. But yeah, it's pretty severe. All my ankles are all the same. All of them are like a copy-paste Norwood 6. I don't recall seeing a proper Norwood 7, like very, very thin, you know, like a bald, nothing else. It's very rare actually to have a proper Norwood 7. But yeah, Norwood 5, 6. There is some, you know, other family members like further, you know, in the family tree that are like, you know, Norwood 3s and 4s. So yeah, I think my destination is Norwood 6, but I'm really strong Norwood 5. And to be honest, my hair loss was not as bad as my brother, so and my father. At my age, even without, I started Finasteride what, a bit more than 2 years ago, and even then I was very strong Norwood 5, while at my age, my brother and my father were already gone Norwood 6. So yeah, I would like to think my genetics is a little bit better. Did you experience any body hair growth from using oral minoxidil? To be honest, no. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there should be some body hair, but I really didn't notice. Like my beard, just as much as I have, is growing a little bit faster, but that's really it. Like I didn't notice any thickening of eyebrows, eyelashes, like hands, legs. I didn't notice any of that. And I didn't notice any extra body growth, any here on the face. Like it looks everything the same, but just more, you know, on the top. It definitely there should be, but maybe it's not that big of a difference. Maybe I need to wait longer, who knows? Because technically oral minoxidil works everywhere. So yeah, that's that. Can you estimate how many grafts you still have left in your donor? Hopefully lots and lots. Cannot wait for your final result. Man, you appreciate your support, first of all. Appreciate kind words. So far I had 6,540 grafts extracted from my donor. Possibly a bit more, because we all know not every single graft is survived, and even with the perfect extraction the surgeons can transact, so there is usually less than, in a good hands, it's less than 5% transaction rate. So yeah, I would think I got, I don't know, 6,000, 6, 7, 8, maybe 100, up to 7,000 extractions, let's say, over 2 surgeries. And yeah, Dr. Ferreira estimated I still got around maximum 3,000, more like 2,000 grafts, mainly from occipital area. It's really strong still. Let me show you actually quickly. I'm pretty sure you don't see properly, but it's still really thick. It's, especially this, like a middle area, it has a lot of hair. Even the sides, they're not looking really that bad, but yeah, especially after so many extractions. Of course, extractions were done very nicely, very good, so it look excellent, to be honest, my donor. But if I would start taking more from the sides, it's gonna be much more visible, like, you know, thinning there, so it's not gonna be a good look. But occipital area, I think I could get away with 2,000 grafts, and if it's done correctly, still gonna be able to look pretty much the same. Again, that's my opinion. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping, basically. Cloning hair would probably be at least $50K, at least at the first or second decade it will be done low. Yeah, I think whenever hair cloning, if it's gonna be available, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be available for everyone. It's gonna be super expensive, definitely more than $50,000. I mean, and again, $50,000 for what exactly? To clone a specific amount of hairs or grafts, or for like how exactly is gonna be, you know, working, and what's gonna be the cost? It's I believe it's gonna be available for just like super rich, because if you think about it, that's pretty much a cure of baldness. So if you know, doesn't matter if you're Norwood 17, you got one available strong thermal graft. From this one you can clone you know, 100,000 grafts and implant. It's gonna take ages to do it, of course, probably, but yeah, I think it's gonna be super expensive. What are your thoughts on topical solutions like topical finasteride, topical DHA for humans? Well, we're always talking about humans. At least I hope I am. I know I am. I hope you are too. Topical finasteride, in short, it can work as good as oral. It can be pain in the ass to apply. It can be difficult to apply consistently enough to make it work. So I'm not a big fan of it. Topical dutasteride needs more research, but there's a lot of people trying different, you know, different vehicles and everything, because the molecular level normally it's much higher to even penetrate the skin, so you need to have specific vehicle to penetrate the skin. So some saying it goes systemic and causes side effects, some saying it doesn't go systemic and they still get the benefit. It's still a long way to go for topical dutasteride. It's a trial and error basically, but yeah, there's some evidence it can work. RU5A for one, for research subjects, so obviously for our research subjects. I'm absolutely not a fan for one simple reason. There is no consistency. Not in efficacy, not in supply. You don't know where you're getting from. You don't know that this supplier that you're getting from today gonna disappear tomorrow, and you don't have any RU, and you're gonna lose all the gains, if assuming it's working to begin with. We don't know long-term effects. There is no studies, etc. So yeah, I'm not a fan. That's my opinion on RU. I would probably, I don't know how desperate I would need to try RU. There's so many other treatments that are very, very good and amazing. So yeah, RU would be in the very end to me. But again, it's just me. I'm afraid I won't have enough donor area to cover my whole thinking scalp. Norwood 6 and temple points. Is it better to focus on temples or leave more grass to crown mid-scalp? Well, overall, it's best to be conservative. Don't put your hairline too low, don't put it obviously too high. Like, make it nice, make it receded. Don't bring your temple peak super forward. Make sure it's done correctly, because some surgeons, they can create really great illusion of density by, you know, placing the grafts in certain like angles that it creates this layering effect, you know. If it's like, if you implant this many grafts, that's your density, but if you like these grafts gonna overlap on each other, gonna look much better with a certain length. So the higher your Norwood level, the more careful basically you have to be with that's again my opinion, with how you approach hair transplant, and of course looking into FET. What's going on, Mordy? How are you doing? Howdy. Nice to see you. Anyways, let's go back to emails. Feel like, oh, I've got so many more. Holy cow. Where did they stop? I have been through this one. I've been through this one. Okay, some more recent ones. Okay, let's have a look. Hi, Rolandas. Here is some photos. Okay, on my transplant done in Turkey, 4,800 grafts at Hugyu-Kosan. In December 2020. Tell me if you need more photos. If you need, I'm available for video join on the channel. Holy cow, I need to download these videos. Okay, let me download these pictures. Are these actually pictures? Maybe it's some virus in there. Some people can be really funny. You know what? Not taking the chance. Just send me the pictures. Don't zip them, and you feel free to. You can do it with the Google Drive, and it's gonna be better. You know, just to stay safe. Okay, moving on. Hello, Mr. Rolandas. I really love your videos. Best combination of entertainment and education. Arigato. Thanks so much. That's basically what I'm trying to do. I would be interested what you can say about my case. Plus, if a hair transplant possible with the right expectations or not. About me, 24 years old, on Finasteride since 13 months. Would say the hair loss is stable. Great. Using topical minoxidil since 3 years. Might switch to oral. Good. Derma roller since 2 months. First month 1 millimeter, now 1.5 millimeter. Excellent. Father is Norwood 7. Not that great. All right, 24 years old, Norwood 7, pretty severe. Okay, give me some home video pictures. I hate seeing very bad things. Okay, let's go one by one. Let's go through all the pictures. So for now, Norwood 5, but it's going. So the crown is dipping pretty low to Norwood 6, probably even it's not Norwood 7. Norwood 7 would go even lower, but it can go like later on in life, but it's already apparent Norwood 6. Like, for example, my Norwood 5, it's kind of somewhere over here. No, this is definitely Norwood 6, probably going to Norwood 7, because you see the whorl, how high it is over here. That's all like the whorl. and normally the Norwood 6 is under the whorl. This, yeah, it could potentially go to Norwood 7, definitely. And my only concern is the retrograde, which is pretty severe here. And to be honest, normally on Norwood 7s, the retrograde is always... okay. The retrograde is more obvious and more severe in the higher Norwood levels. So if you Norwood 6 or 7, most of the time it's accompanied with a pretty severe retrograde. So yeah, that's basically what we see here. So you have to, just from the sites, I'll be honest. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, not a professional. What do I know? Whatever. It's really difficult. Okay, occipital area looks pretty good, but all sides, pretty much the whole, not just the retrograde, but over all the way to the top, it's pretty thin. So some might argue you're not even a candidate for surgery, to be honest. And considering you've been on finasteride for 13 months and you were just 24 years old, I mean, it's stable, and been on minoxidil for 3 years, so I would say you're holding to a lot of hair that would otherwise already be gone. So yeah, I guess I sound very negative, but it's a very tough one. I would say don't do transplant right now. As much as you would love to, I would suggest to wait at least a few more years and just see how further you can progress. But to be honest, maybe like even if you would go for surgery, I would definitely go only for FUE, because if your occipital area is the strongest, you could go literally get the strip from here and then maybe another strip from here that could, I don't know, yield maybe 4,000 or 5,000 grafts. It can, if the occipital area has a really good density. It looks like you have finer hairs. But yeah, you still, on the positive side, you have a lot of miniaturous hair. So if you, for example, I'm pretty sure that the microneedling would greatly boost your gains from finasteride and minoxidil. So I would think that after another year of not changing anything, your crown gonna be looking so much better, and your top gonna be again looking so much better. You could try oral minoxidil if you can get your hands on it. Again, be very mindful with oral minoxidil. Do your research before starting it. It's not the drug that you want to mess up and just to play around, you know. But it can be even better in terms of, you know, regrowth. And to be honest, I would try to exhaust probably all the possibilities before even undergoing transplant. Maybe try PRP, maybe try laser even, you know, like some people laughing from laser, but laser works. There is some evidence. It's not amazing. It's not gonna give you great, like super amazing boost or benefit, but every little helps in such severe cases. So, you know, if you're gonna stack so many things together, you never know. You might have a great outcome. But yeah, I would try as many things as I possibly can and wait another, I don't know, at least 2-3 years and take it from there. Definitely don't jump on, you know, on transplant yet. Just be very careful. It's really tough to hear it, and I get it, and I'm in a similar situation, hence why I'm just going all in. But yeah, I didn't do transplant myself until I was, what, 28, so something to think about. I was living like that. At the end of the day, just try to shave your head. It looks like you have a decent head of hair. What I'm talking about. You've got a decent head shape that I don't think you're gonna look bad shaved. To be honest, if you haven't tried it, try it and see. Maybe you're gonna like it after all, and you're gonna, you know what? Fuck all of this, you know, medications. Why would I need to bother? This would be my, you know, suggestion. I don't know. Take from it what you will. But yeah, don't jump into the, you know, transplant. MK, is that the same MK from the chat? I got your email in front of me. But first, let me drink some water. By the way, guys, if you appreciate the content, as always, make sure to like the videos. Not just this one, every video. And comment down below. You can comment anything, especially on any other normal videos. It's just a little comment like that looks great or something like that goes a long way for the YouTube algorithm. And we all know I'm talking real things. I'm not talking bullshit. I'm trying to actually steer away people from bullshit. So the more people we're gonna reach, the more people are gonna be saved. So let's do it together. And without you guys, I cannot do it. So yeah, move on. MK. Hi Rolandas. Keep up the good stuff, man. And the transplant looks great. Appreciate it. Here are pics before I got on Finasteride and minoxidil. Fluffed up hair to show the bald spot under extremely strong light, close to a dental clinic. 30 years old, guy, Arab ethnicity. Of course, I acted a bit late, but better than ever. I think majority of people are like that, like better later than never, including myself. God knows. I feel that Finasteride and minoxidil worked very well after 3 to 5 months of being on it for a year and been slacking on a few days. Well, I am pretty sure you're slacking on minoxidil, yeah, topical probably, mainly because, like I said, it can be a hassle sometimes. It's very difficult. I'm thinking due to my strange pattern, half of my head, the right side looks and feels a lot worse than my left side. What would you do in my shoes, wait or get a transplant? Thanks for everything, boss man. Well, first of all, MK, appreciate all your support on my channel. Really happy that you're finding a lot of useful information for yourself. Let's have a look into your case, finally. And yeah, you're right. It does look a bit... one side looks stronger. Like to the point that it looks like you're just applying minoxidil to one side, but you're not applying to the other. Yeah, but it looks like you're Norwood 6. If we just take out the, you know, the permanent zone. It's Norwood 6 with the diffuse, a really strong forelock, which is great for the hairline, but yeah, the temple peaks, they're gone pretty much. But yeah, it's super harsh light, and yeah, it really looks strange. Indeed, this right side, left side for you, it's much thicker than this one. That's how it looks shaved. Oh. I guess this was the right side. I mean the other side, because the phone probably flipped the sides of the picture. Oh, so wait a second. So when was it? So was it before and that's after? Is there any explanation? So if I understand correctly, this is after the treatment. If this is after the Finasteride and minoxidil, then I got only one thing to say to you. Holy shit. Looks great, man. Like what? Look at the forelock. What it was. This was pre-minoxidil and Finasteride. Mate, it's mind-blowing. I love to see this. It's like, it's properly mind-blowing. Like, look how bad it was. And okay, how long you were on Finasteride, minoxidil? Better than after 3 months of being on it for a year. So you've been on it, man, definitely don't slack on it. Add Microneedling if you didn't add it, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. You can expect even more improvement, and definitely don't do transplant. Like I would not do transplant. Man, look at you, like the whole hairline. It's crazy. Look how thin was here, and now it looks like it's the whole hairline kind of recreate. Of course, I would love to see. Oh, there you go. Okay, see. But even the temple peak, look. I'm pretty sure all of this was gone and it's like came back to life like recently. Okay, the donor, by the way, looks solid. Again, might be the light and everything, but it looks good. Look at the density here. Looks great, man. So yeah, my suggestion, what I would do right now in your shoes, just keep doing Finasteride, keep doing minoxidil, add Microneedling on top, and just keep doing for another year, and then reassess. And then if you think you might need more, which I'm pretty sure you're gonna regain even more, maybe then you can think about, I don't know, possibly adding the test rate once a week, or looking into oral minoxidil. or things like that, or even stay the course and don't do anything. Like, it looks promising, to be honest. And you know, one tip, if it looks like your one side is stronger than the other, that's what I was personally doing. Just grow this part longer and brush it to the side. It's a comb over, but man, you're gonna look great. You're gonna look like you've got a full head of hair. So yeah, this is extremely encouraging, guys. Freaking take the minoxidil finasteride. Everyone, now go and take your finasteride if you didn't yet. By the way, good morning, Australia. Go take your finasteride. Where is MK? Yes, it was pretty nasty, but these were 3-5 months after. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Man, MK, I'm really happy for you. It looks extremely great. Good for you, literally. Like, you made my evening. All right, so this is moving on. So many emails from the same person. Okay, let's move on. Hello. Here are photos of my hair transplant. I had done a DHA in Mexico via their FUE DHA method. Is it right? Around 2000 grafts. I don't see very many blonde hair transplants, as my hair is very fine and thin, so I have always had concerns that transplant will not provide enough density to look natural. What are your thoughts? Is this a decent density for 4 months? Do you think it will continue to fill in the terms of density? Okay, I'll stop right there. If you are 4 months after transplant, just please don't analyze it, don't overthink it. Try to focus on other things in life and just don't look in the mirror. Month 4 is just the very beginning, the very beginning of your, transplanted growth. So okay, let me actually. It's so common, but that's why I did this. I think 2 or even 3 videos already on my channel about the hair growth, like a timeline. It shows very well how I was looking and how it progresses. So please just have a look at this video and you're gonna see. I think this is one of the best videos I have on my channel, and let's just have a look together. This is what very beginning of my first transplant, pretty bare, and you see month 3 there's still nothing in there. It's few hairs that didn't shed, they just kept growing and got longer. Look, month 4, the hairline starts to form, but very thin, and there is still see-through and there is nothing. But month 4, and now look at month 5. It's just after 1 month improved so dramatically, to the point I can kind of comb over and create more illusion of density. It's still very thin, but it looks already much better in just 1 month. You see, I'm of course, as always, I'm being very transparent, combing in different directions in light conditions, good quality close-up, so you know exactly what to expect after a transplant. But yeah, look at that, so much more growth. And look at 6 month, month 6, so much more improvement. So it looks so much thicker. Of course, again, like I'm always brushing to the side to create more density because my head is very thin. But again, if I brush it straight down, compare month 6 and month 4, huge difference, So there you go. I was able to go around like this. I was looking pretty good. So anyways, just you are in a very good time. So every week right now you're gonna see more and more improvement. So yeah, that's just wanted to put it out there. And yeah, do you think they're gonna continue to fill in? Yes, you just saw it. And thank you for everything you do. Your videos helped a lot in motivating me to finally follow through the procedure. It's great. Below is 1 before and 6 at the 4-month mark. I've tried to capture multiple angles light on account how the blonde hair appears in different. Okay, first of all, so blonde hair will always look better, like in general with hair loss, with transplants, because you're gonna have less contrast with the scalp, and yeah, overall you're gonna look like much denser. So to be honest, if anything, the light blonde hair is always a huge plus, if you're experiencing hair loss. So that's a good thing. The only minus can be if you have a thin hair, but blonde hair can be thick and thin as well. So okay, so that's the picture. 4 months, it literally, man, it looks pretty good. Starts on beginning of the growth. That was before. Okay, so Norwood 3. It looks really good, strong forelock. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm pretty sure it's gonna look great. It looks decent and looks like it's gonna be a really nice hairline. I would be interested to see how it's gonna progress. I would like to add that I'm 29, currently on Finasteride, not currently on Finasteride or minoxidil, and I'm curious your thoughts on it, on if you would recommend someone in my position should I continue without medication. I would actually advise, I would always advise to get on medication, but look at the family history. Like I said, going back, if that would be your like a worst result, like worst Norwood scale in terms of you're not gonna progress any further, possibly, especially that you're 29 already, maybe you don't really need it. But go to dermatologist, good dermatologist, ask them, or like trichologist, ask them to assess your hair under a microscopic evaluation and see where ask them to look for miniaturization. Very important. And look at your family history, look at your father, your uncles, and see where they are, and that's likely where you're gonna end up. Sorry. So yeah, that's basically gonna determine whether or not you should start Finasteride, but it's never a bad idea to prevent, you know, further hair loss. Here are photos from 1 week mark for further context. What's that picture? Cannot really tell. Oh, extractions are really nicely done. Look, very nice small punch. Spread evenly. I like it. Oh, okay. The pictures were really closed. Maybe it shouldn't be like straight like in one line. Could go a bit more homogenized, but no. Overall, looks really good. Like proper spacing. Small punch, nice. It doesn't look that it's gonna be super dense, but again, it might be that there's like a lot of multiple grafts that can create illusion of density. We're gonna see, I guess. I mean, so far doesn't look bad. Oh, holy cow! I wasn't even showing. Yeah, we can see the pictures. Okay, sorry guys. Total amateur. There you go. This is the picture. This is the donor. This was a close-up of the donor. Nice small extractions. Decent spacing in between extractions. And this is the implantations. Looks pretty good. That's I think I didn't show any pictures. Holy cow. Such a bad. Okay, the pictures. 4 months. I think right on track. That was before. Yeah, just like other guys. Throw out the mirrors, windows, no windows, mirrors, and yeah, move on with life, and it's gonna be there. Just have to be patient. All right, let's go another one. Hey Rolandas, I'm 25. A guy from Poland. Hello. Cześć, jak się masz? Co robisz? Sadly, I started losing my hair 3 years ago, I guess. It was really fast hair loss, so I didn't react quickly. Nowadays, I'm on low dose of Finasteride for 18 months. Great. But my hair is still diffused. I'm planning my transplant, but I don't know which method of FUE should I choose. One of the best Belgian doctors advised me to choose FUE instead of FET and just restore formal part with 8,500 grafts without touching crown. My donor density is, according to the doctor, between 7 and 75 grafts per centimeter square. Do you think, is it possible to get a good result doing so small procedure in such severe hair loss? My main goal is to restore hairline and mid-scalp to get results like you. Well, that's very flattering. What was your donor density? My donor density was between 80 and 100 grafts per centimeter square. Okay, fine hairs, just like mine. Norwood 5, probably going to 6, just like me. It looks, yeah, it looks a bit worse because the lateral humps, especially this side, is much lower than mine. Mine are like, the overall, like, you know, it's the whole bald spot, let's say, it's much smaller overall. But yeah, we're kind of in the same boat, to be honest. How was it? You've been on medication, Finasteride. Okay, so you're microdosing. Add minoxidil. I would suggest to add the minoxidil with microneedling and stay for another year, because you have so much diffuse thinning. Like, it looks like, to me, it looks like there's a very good chance all of this front, like the whole frontal third, can greatly, you know, density can greatly improve to the point you would possibly don't even need a transplant, at least for now. Even the crown can, you know. So I would suggest just to do as much, you know, push with the medications as possible, and don't go for transplant right now. And yeah, 3,500 grafts, it might go a long way if your hair will get thicker by medication. If not, then just like for my case, just the front, rebuild the hairline, be conservative over here, and to be honest, FET is a good option, especially in the high cases. I don't know why. I mean, to be honest, if you are staying Norwood 5, you're not going any further. Even Norwood 6, but you have a high donor, the back and the sides, FE is not a bad option as well. So yeah, I would suggest just be proactive with medications. Get on minoxidil, microneedling, and just keep doing it. And maybe look into increasing the finasteride dose, and you're gonna experience more improvement. A lot of hair that could be saved. Okay, and the last email. Holy cow, I can't believe. My objective for this live stream was to go through all the emails because I got so many, and I really wanted to go through some of them. Brief description. Oh, hold on. Is that the guy that I already spoke to? Let me see. I think I already, yeah. I think I already discussed on the last live stream. Okay, he is asking another question. I had one more question. Will I be able to attain what is it, full head of hair after 1 or 2 transplants, and will I be able to maintain it for a very long time? Let's say till I become 45. Well, okay, let's show the pictures. Nobody knows, difficult to say how long you're gonna be able to keep it, but it's tough to, like, I would keep your expectations low. Because if you're gonna have your very high expectations, it's not, you can be very disappointed if you're gonna go other way around, you know what I mean? So until 45, it really depends on your family history. Just go look at your father, look at your, you know, uncles, ask them how was their hair loss when they started, you know, going, receding, etc. And you will know pretty much a good, you know, it's gonna be a good way to determine how you're gonna look for you, because most likely you're gonna be in the same boat, especially if you don't do anything about it. So yeah, this is it. All right, let's go back to some live chat before wrapping it out. Okay, thank you for the great answer. This is a relief when I see the videos with all the extractions. Having a good perspective and some insurance for the future is so important. Absolutely. Doing good. Great, more D. Finally on Dr. Cole's schedule. Man, I'm really happy for you. I know you've been doing your research for a long time. You tried everything under the sun to stop and improve your situation. So I wish you best of luck with your transplant, and keep me updated. I would be really curious to follow your transplant and see how it goes. And once again, I appreciate your support. $5, that's great. Your hairline is looking fabulous. Thanks so much. Very nice of you. Show him my pictures. My case was very close to his. Can't remember which one. I'm sorry. This is a premium of Finasteride. Okay, that's pretty nice. You made my whole month, bro. Haha. MK. Well, I'm glad, man. Looks really encouraging. I'm really happy for you. I'm 25 with DHA that started on my top and crown, but also in the donor area. Well, that's not really good. Just got hair transplant last week. Am I screwed? I would, like, okay, if they did the transplant and they know you have DHA, then if it's a good surgeon, I assume they try to find a better graft, if it's a FUE, for example, and pick it like the thicker ones, but then you might end up with only thin miniaturizing hair in the donor, which not gonna be able to cover your scars. So it might be a tricky one, but in any case, make sure you're on medication. I don't remember, maybe you said it before in the chat, but make sure you're on Finasteride and minoxidil possibly as well, because even if it's DUPA, it's still the same cost, DHT. It just, you know, there is no particular pattern. It's like affecting all the areas. So finasteride can go a long way. We can see the pictures. Sorry about that. Is it true you don't see red hair or blonde hair much? Yeah, again, I mean, it's not that common as well, to be honest, in reality. So, you know, hey, what we can do. Ironically, I'm a very hairy guy on the body. Maybe I'll do BHT in the future. Do you think it would be bad, considering it doesn't have the same characteristic as the scalp hair? Well, my personal opinion, and I have a very strong position on it. Body hair is good only, I mean, okay, let's go back. The beard hair is the best body hair for the transplant because it looks as close as possible to your scalp hair in terms of growth phases, anagen phase, telogen phase. Your scalp hair is about 2 to 7 years, 2 to 6 years anagen phase, while your beard hair, it can roughly is up to 1 year. It can be longer for certain individuals. It can be shorter for certain individuals. Nonetheless, beard hair is great second option for donor, then chest, and everything else is just not even worth considering because the anagen phase, growth phase, super short. It's not gonna grow long. It's gonna be thin, and it's just single grafts. It's just a waste of time, money, effort, and you know, everything basically. So yeah, but beard and chest, and only in the mid scalp. This is my personal opinion. I would never put in my crown. I would definitely never put in my hairline any of the body hair because their growth direction is almost unpredictable. They're always looking different than scalp. They're coarser. They're most of the time single grafts. It's just they're standing out. And lots of people that had a lot of BHT, they're even saying if they're running their hand, you know, through their hair, they can feel it. Where is the beard hairs growing? And it's exactly this. If you take out the graft from the beard and put on the top, it just, your beard is growing on top. As funny as it sounds, that's the reality. So it's good only to kind of create illusion of density to put in between, you know, your scalp hair to mix it, but not like a separate, just like a strip of BHT. It's just gonna look ridiculous, to be honest. So yeah, just mixing with a small amount, maybe 10 to 90, or maybe, okay, 20% to 80%, like 20% BHT and 80% scalp hair, mixing around, maybe it's good. But yeah, don't overdo it. You're Rolandas, I'm on 1 milligram 3 times a week. Been 6 months, everything stable. And even improving. Great. You reckon I should up the dose? Also, I can't really afford Dermapen. Is Dermarol good enough? Right, so 1 milligram 3 times a week. First of all, why exactly have you decided to jump on 1 milligram 3 times a week? I'm gonna give you a wild suggestion, my suggestion. It's probably of the hair loss show. Because before I was on YouTube, I was listening, like, my channel, I think it was before them as well on YouTube, but I was researching through YouTube a lot, way before they even started. Nobody ever was talking about 1 milligram 3 times a week, but as soon as they came into the game, straight away everyone is using 3 times a week. So official dose is 1 milligram per day. My opinion, if you have severe hair loss, you would possibly need more finasteride. It means every day. That's why I personally am taking every single day 1 milligram per day of finasteride, because my hair loss is Norwood 5. I don't want to go to Norwood 6. And yeah, but if you Norwood 3 and maybe you'll go to Norwood 4, then yeah, why not? Take smaller doses is better. We need to find the smaller possible dose that is effective, you know, because at the end of the day it's still something that it's drug, it's not natural, and you know, although it's very safe and effective, why would you need to put more than you need? So yeah, it's up to you at the end about in terms of your hair loss, and if it's working, maybe don't change anything, but you're gonna have more like room for improvement. But if your hair loss is like severe, like you're Norwood 5, 6, and even though it's good, I would just not play around. I would just go on a proper dose. And again, it's just my opinion, not a doctor. All right, you reckon should I up the dose? Okay. Also, okay, if you cannot afford Dermapen, Dermarol derma roller is definitely good. I was using derma roller with minoxidil for 1 year before my first transplant, and it definitely worked. The microneedling devices are superior, but in my opinion, my perspective, the difference is not going to be that dramatic that it's like justifies. I mean, it can justify the cost if this money is not like a life-threatening, if it makes sense. Like, if you have got the spare money, or you wouldn't mind to spend £100 or $100, whatever it is, whatever is currency, on like a device to help with your hair loss, I would spend it. But if you, literally, it's impossible, man. Derma rolling is great. You really don't need it. Just trust me, it works. It works really good. Just make sure you're doing it right. So, and how to do it right? Check out my derma rolling 101 video, which was done like over a year ago. Roger, 51, male, got transplant 2 months ago, crown 1600 grafts, USA, taking finasteride, stay the course or anything else? Stay the course. That's it, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you had 1600 grafts and you're 50 years old, it looks like your hair loss is very, very mild. So yeah, don't do anything, don't change anything, just throw away all the mirrors from the house, focus on other aspects in life. Don't think about transplant, and after 10 months, 12 months, if the transplant was done correctly, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be happy. So yeah, sorry for bothering. I'm 2 months after transplant. Advice is to start microneedling after 6 months and topical minoxidil, like a combination, 1 day microneedling and 2nd day topical minoxidil. Nicola, I'm gonna tell you exactly the same thing what I said to Ratex. Go check out my derma rolling 101 video. I did it a long time ago, but it's amazing basically video. It's everything you need to know: what kind of needles, when to apply, how to apply minoxidil, you know, how much pressure to put, and all of this jazz. So really great video, which is what is it? I'm gonna show you now on the screen. It's this video. What is it now? Derma rolling 101, microneedling for hair growth 2020. Go ahead, go on this video. I explained a lot of you know, things. Very, very useful. Moving on. Someone deleted the comment. No problem. Hi Rolandas, could you tell us what convinced you to start Finasteride, since you knew about it in early stages but didn't take it? To be honest, yeah, you're right. I knew about Finasteride for about 5 years before I actually started. And I was, like most of the guys, scared, reading too much online. Oh, like, why would I need to put something bad? I'm losing hair anyways. You know, like, brainwashed myself into thinking that it can destroy my life. But then I heard one very key sentence to me, which was in the Bold Truth show on YouTube, on Joe Tillman YouTube channel, by Spencer Coburn. And he said this sentence: majority of the guys don't give themselves a fighting chance against hair loss. And once I heard this, it just something clicked into in my head, like something just like snapped, and I was like, okay, he's right. I have to try Finasteride. I have to try. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna work well. Maybe I'm gonna be, or maybe it's not gonna work well. Maybe I'm gonna get the side effects. But I don't know if I don't try. And that was the moment when I was like, okay, I need to try it, because he's right. I'm not fighting it. I'm not giving myself fighting even chance. I'm losing. I'm you know, having a losing battle. So yeah, that was the trigger for me. And from my experience, from like probably thousands of people that I already spoke with by now, everyone has something in their life that just, there is a certain point in time, and in, like, you know, in their time when something happens and they, okay, enough, I have to start Finasteride, even though they try to actively avoid it. So I always say, you just need to lose enough hair to convince yourself to start using it, but better earlier than later, because if you lose it, you might not regrow it back. But if you prevent from losing it, you can keep it. So yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it. So called. Photon beats beard transplant. Where do they get the donor hair for beard transplant? So first of all, I never seen a good beard transplant. That's my personal opinion. Never. All look pretty bad. Yeah, pretty artificial, pretty obvious. Yeah. most of the cases they're taking grafts from the hairs from the scalp and put in the beard. Again, my opinion, looks terrible, because if you're gonna let it grow, the texture of the hair is different. It goes, especially with the guys that have a straight hair like myself, it's gonna look ridiculous. The beard is like kind of curly a little bit and goes in different directions, and the hair gonna be soft and straight, growing like that, double, triple grafts. It's just gonna look ridiculous, while the beard is mostly single. My opinion, if you do the beard, if you really want to do beard transplant, take the hair for the beard from the beard, just like Matt Dominance did recently, by the way. So finally he did something good. Anyways, take from your neck and then implant in your, you know, patchy areas. So that would be my only, you know, opinion in the beard transplant. But yeah, and the doctor will really need to know the angle and make a lot of like some random staggerings, not just to implant in lines. It's just very obvious, even though I understand guys are shaving, but this little tiny stubble, even after shave, creates this like a naturalness. But if they're gonna implant just in lines, I don't know, it doesn't look nice. I'm not a big fan. So yeah, good day, mate. Good day, Nick. How you doing, my friend? Australia is pretty fucked, as I heard, yeah? Another lockdown. Everyone is running around because there is one case of corona. Woo! Anyways, can I send pictures? I did a hair transplant a week ago. You can try, but I think I'm already wrapping up. I'm not gonna be looking into more emails this time around, but I possibly might do next week. I don't know. I'm going on holidays, by the way, guys, to Bulgaria next week. Hopefully I'm gonna get there, by the way, with all this bullshit happening, but nonetheless, I might do some live streams, maybe even more frequently, and I definitely gonna be posting more videos, little tiny ones. I'm planning to do some like a spontaneous live streams during the day, you know, somewhere on the beach by the, you know, by the pool or something like that. We'll see. Just to show how it looks, my hair in different conditions with some different concealers. I'm gonna be trying some Dermach going to the pool to see how well it works. And you know, so make sure to subscribe to the channel for this. It's gonna be really interesting. And yeah, I wish I could visit Dr. Zarev in Bulgaria, but yeah, no, why not? My girlfriend is Bulgarian, so we're going to Bulgaria, that's why. And where was I? Yeah, so maybe I'm gonna do a live stream and maybe I'm gonna assess the pictures just like I did right now. Beard hair transplant would be best from the neck and chest, in my opinion. Yeah, chest possibly as well, yeah. It's not a bad idea. Thoughts on pre-existing gyno and finasteride? From what I've heard, if you got pre-existing gyno, then even on a very small dose of finasteride, you will likely develop gyno. So if you really want to stop hair loss, you need to use finasteride. If you decide to use finasteride in such a situation, then I would think straight away about the gyno surgery, to be honest. But again, I'm not a doctor. It's speak to a doctor. It's a very tricky situation. Yeah, okay guys, I think that's it for today. It was, as always, very nice, almost 2-hour live stream. I hope a lot of people found a lot of useful information for themselves. Make sure to like the video, not just this one, but any other video that I'm posting. It's gonna help me tremendously to push through the algorithm so more people can find in these videos and more people gonna be helped, which is at the end of the day, that's the most important thing that we're all trying to do. Like if you found useful information and you got, you know, helped by me, imagine some other people can have the same. So let's do it, and comment down below any question. I'm trying always to answer to every single one. But even if you don't have a question, just comment anything. Comment something like, oh, you're doing great hair, or shit hair, or I hate you, whatever. Whatever makes you happy. Every little thing helps. So yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate the support, guys. If you want to support me further, in the description down below you can find the link where you can just buy me a coffee. You can buy me a coffee through here, through the live chat. And yeah, every little help appreciated. And for now, I think that's it for this video. Thanks much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. It's gonna be my 2-month transplant update. Stay tuned, guys. Peace out.